I thought she couldn't read minds until she giggled and said, "Oh, I can hear that too." The first time I saw her, she was standing in the middle of a storm. Not a normal storm. This one was made of light. Waves of electric blue shimmered across the abandoned research dome, dancing like northern lights. I had come to salvage equipment from the old telepathic research facility, long shut down after the neural collapse disaster. But instead of rusted metal and broken glass, I found her. Barefoot, her silver hair whipping in the static, eyes closed as if she could hear something beyond the storm's roar. I almost didn't say anything. She looked too serene, like she belonged there. "Hey!" I shouted, cupping my hands. "It's dangerous in there." Her eyes opened, luminescent gray, calm and focused. And then, for a moment, I heard something that wasn't mine. "He thinks I'm in danger." "Oh, sweet." Froze. "What did you just say?" She tilted her head, confused. "I didn't say anything." "But must have imagined it. Static messes with your head, right?" I shook it off and motioned for her to follow me out. When she stepped into the light, the storm vanished. The entire dome went silent. We camped near the ridge that night, where the sand met the ruins of the old colony. I shared my rations, and she watched me with an amused half-smile, like a cat pretending to be polite. "My name's Orion," I offered. "I'm here to find old neural cores. The tech's worth a fortune." "I know," she said softly, her voice almost melodic. "People always come here looking for what's left of other people's minds." That made me pause. "You talk like you've seen this before." She poked at the fire. "I was born here. In the dome." That didn't make sense. The dome was sealed off decades ago. Everyone who worked there was either dead or missing. Born here. But that's impossible. The facility shut down. After the neural collapse, she finished for me, smiling faintly. "Yes, I know." I tried to laugh it off, but something about her tone made me uneasy. "So you're what, some kind of survivor?" She looked at me then, her eyes glinting like steel. "Something like that." I didn't ask more. But I thought about it hard. If she was lying, I'd need to be careful. If she was telling the truth, she might be valuable. Maybe even connected to the psychic research that had gone so wrong. And that's when she giggled. A soft, airy sound that sent chills down my spine. "I'm not lying," she said without looking up. "And I'm not for sale either." My breath caught. "Wait, how did you?" She turned her gaze to me, that same playful smirk dancing at the corners of her lips. "Oh," she said sweetly, "I can hear that too." The next morning, she led me deeper into the facility ruins. Every corridor hummed faintly with residual energy, like the place was alive. She walked barefoot, as if feeling the pulse of the metal through her skin. "I shouldn't be here," I muttered. "The core reactors are unstable." "They won't hurt us," she replied. "They remember me." The deeper we went, the colder it got. We reached a massive chamber filled with suspended orbs, crystalline spheres that flickered with faint echoes of human thought. I recognized the design, neural data containers. Each held fragments of someone's consciousness. "This is where it happened," she said softly. "When the scientists tried to merge their minds. They wanted unity. What they got was silence." "You talk like you saw it." "I didn't see it," she whispered. "I felt it. Every scream. Every memory fading into the dark." Something about her voice made my stomach twist. "Who are you?" She looked up at the orbs. "I'm what they made to survive it." The lights in the chamber flared as if reacting to her words. Dozens of whispers flooded my mind. Snatches of laughter, fear, grief, like 1,000 voices waking up after a long sleep. I fell to my knees, clutching my head. Stop. Please. She touched my temple gently, and the noise vanished. I'm sorry, she said. I forget how fragile your thoughts are. I stared at her, heart pounding. You can really read minds. Not read, she said. I listen. You all shout so loudly without meaning to. Over the next few hours, I tried to understand her. She called herself Lira, and said she had been part of an experiment meant to link human consciousness into a collective network. But when it went wrong, she was left as the only stable node. Half human, half data. The dome had become her prison. You're not trapped anymore, I told her. Come with me. We can get you out of here. Her smile this time was sad. You don't understand. The dome isn't keeping me in. I'm keeping it asleep. What do you mean? She stepped closer, placing her hand over my chest. If I leave, the network wakes. Every fragment of every mind they trapped here, every fear, every hunger, will rise again. You wouldn't survive it. My throat went dry. Then what happens to you? She hesitated. If I stay. Fade. Eventually. Something in me rebelled at that. No. There has to be another way. She smiled, eyes shining. You really believe that, don't you? I do. She laughed softly, almost like a chime in the wind. That's why I like you, Orion. You think with your heart before your head. For a moment I thought she might agree. Then she leaned in and pressed her forehead against mine. Don't be afraid, she whispered. I'll leave a piece of me with you. Light burst around us. Soft, blinding, like a sunrise made of memories. When I opened my eyes, the dome was quiet again. The orbs had gone dark. Lira was gone. But in the back of my mind, I heard her giggle. Careful what you think, Orion. And just like that, I knew she was still there, somewhere between thought and light, listening. The ground trembled as the dome's systems began shutting down. The lights that had pulsed around us for hours flickered, fading into darkness. My ears rang in the silence that followed. Lira! I called out, my voice echoing through the vast chamber. Nothing answered. No giggle, no whisper, no hint of her presence. The air felt hollow, empty in a way that made the world seem smaller. I staggered toward the exit, every step heavier than the last. The storm outside had cleared, revealing a sky washed in pale violet light. For the first time in decades, the air around the dome was still. That's when I heard it, a soft laugh like a thought brushing against mine. Careful, Orion. Can still hear you. Froze. My pulse jumped. Her voice wasn't echoing through the dome. It was inside my head. Lira. I whispered again. Not all of me faded, she said gently. I couldn't leave you alone out here. I sank to my knees in the sand, torn between awe and grief. You said you'd disappear. Most of me did, she replied, her tone warm, fading at the edges. But I left enough to listen, to remember. The wind swept over the dunes, carrying the faint hum of energy from the silent dome. I realized then that she hadn't just saved the world. She'd given part of herself to me. Then I'll keep your memory alive, I whispered. Everywhere I go. There was a soft, affectionate laugh. But just be careful what you think, Orion. And then, only silence, and the feeling of being quietly, eternally watched over by the mind that once held 1,000 souls. Smiled. I'll take my chances.